I know it's kind of weird to have a bunch of egg cartons in a fish tank, but hear me out. I've been saving these for the last couple of weeks because I want to make paper out of them. I saw a video on TikTok and I was like, I could do that. So here I am with my egg cartons and we're gonna see if this actually works. Here is the cleanest bucket I could find, filled with some water. It's just regular water. It's a little bit warm. And I'm going to take these and rip them apart and add the pieces into the water. I guess I've done quite a large amount of egg cartons. I don't know. I guess you don't need this many, but I'm going to mix it all in here with the water. I think I'm going to put more water in here with the hose, and we're just going to let it sit until it just really breaks down and falls apart just like that. It already looks super mushy. Look at that. It looks kind of gross. Don't we love gross crafts that we can get our hands dirty? I'm gonna add a little bit more water. I think I'm gonna add enough water so it's completely submerged so they can all just soak in here for a while. And we'll be back when it's done soaking. I love starting projects without having an actual plan. So this is an old canvas. I did some marbling. You can see it's cracking. Like, I'm not happy with this. There's sparkles all over it. It was gonna go to the trash. So what I'm actually gonna do with this is I'm gonna rip off this old frame, or I guess rip off the canvas for this frame. And this is gonna be the frame that I use to make my egg carton paper. Okay, so I was left with this frame, and now I'm going to staple some tulle fabric, which I have over there. It's just what I have. What I would prefer would be like a metal mesh window screen or a fabric window screen to do this, but I am just working with what I have on hand because I never plan anything. So this is hopefully just gonna work. The aftermath of my figuring out, but here we have the sifting screen that I'm going to use for my paper. The next step is to blend down the muck. The internet tells you not to use a blender that you use for food, but honestly, I maybe use this blender once a year, so I'm not going to be too worried about it. We're going to blend it up and get it into a different container, see if we can make some paper. Oh, this is so weird. I think I need to add some more water. I'm gonna get a jug of water too. This is the bucket for getting the paper. Hopefully I can like scoop it in and shift around, sift and shift. But we're gonna pour my first batch of okay. Now you don't need to use a blender. You can just break the egg carton down with your hands, but I am lazy. And that was my last blender load. It made it come out very even, like there's no really like massive clumps. And I'm not really sure what kind of ratio to do for the paper, like if I need to put more water in this bucket or what. But the next step is going to be taking this guy and putting him in here. So we'll see what happens. I don't know why I have so much. It's my too much gene kicked in. I've laid 2 towels out and I'm actually just going to do a test with this. I'm not sure if I should use this side, which is the flat side, or this side, which has that little like edge, which would catch paper. I think I might do it this way. And then when I'm done, I will flip it out here and dry it with this other one. That's the plan. I think I've mostly got it figured out now. This is just draining. And over here, I set up a little station for my paper to dry on, right in the sun. So this was the first one I did. I did this with the inside where the border, like, yeah, so that's why that one's smaller than these two. This is my second one, and I think my third one is the best yet. I obviously didn't space these out very well, so for the next one, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, but they look pretty good. I think afterwards I would like cut the outsides to make it look like a nice clean sheet of paper, but it's a nice decent size. I think they look really good. So after I let this drip dry, I take it over to my, oh, it's kind of heavy. I probably could get them thinner, to be honest. But I take it over to my drying station, which is just this old towel. And I have some other towels that I actually use to press out the rest of the water. So I'm gonna just straight up take this guy and do this. And you'll be able to see, like you can see my hand print, because this is very, very wet. This is probably not the best way to do it, but I'm learning. We learn as we go here on this channel. Let's see if I pull this up. See, it starts to look more like paper. But like I said, it's very thick, so maybe I need to do this dip a little bit differently. Then again, don't really mind that it's thick. You know what I'm saying? We don't love that line in it, but I'm not going to do anything about it. So this stage over here, all I do is flip this onto the paper. Okay, here we go. Ready? That was so messy. But it looks pretty good. Look at that. Wow. I thought I would have enough paper to make a novel, but now that I'm looking at how much I'm using and everything, I think maybe I'll get like 6 pages max. I had this crazy idea. What if I try to make a bowl? I think if I added more water to this and I figured out the ratio better, I could do a better job, but it's working so far. Pretty good looking bowl, right? So I have this form for it to sit on, because I think if I flop it down without something to hold its shape, then it is not going to hold its shape. But let's see here. Oh, I'm so impressed. They definitely didn't dry flat, so maybe next time I'll want to put some sort of, maybe like a book, like put them in between something and weigh them down, because they're wavy as heck, but they look so cool. Oh, it's like I can make a little book. Oh, they're very thick though. They feel very thick. They feel like construction paper. It's been a few days and all of my paper crafts are dry. Something I wanted to show you that I noted here is this is the pile of the first ones that I did, and you can see they're very thick. They are more like an egg carton than I want them to be. Like, you can't really bend this. If you bend it, it's gonna break. Now, these are the ones I started doing after I did 1 or 2. I started to learn how it worked, and you can see in these pages, they are much more, I already have a little bit of a rip. They're much more bendy. They're thinner. They're just like nicer sheets overall, instead of this like hard, really hard piece. So I did learn a few things along the way, like thinner is better, how to sift. I might want to get some more like proper tools for this if I decide to do this more in the future. The bowls were kind of a bust. I mean, that's a nice looking bowl. I'm not sure what you'd use it for. Collecting blueberries, putting some dry cereal in. I'm not really sure. I guess you could call them salmonella bowls because they're egg carton bowls. I don't think any of this has salmonella in it, but I don't know. These ones are more like plates than bowls. So I have a few ideas on how I can use this paper making method in the garden for seed starting, and hopefully I can do a video like that in the future. But it was a lot of fun. Let me know if you have any ideas on what I can use these for. This to me looks like a little witchy spell book. Perfect, because we're coming up on Halloween. Like, write some cauldron recipes in here. But yeah, thanks for joining me for this craft, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!